What's up, traders? This is Marco. We have Friday the 26th of May and I have another bar by bar for you. You can see here the 2000 ES tick chart, and I'm coming to the computer around 7:30 in the morning, and I'm checking the price action, and right now I can see overnight lows here, overnight highs right here, and you can see here on the top left corner 7:30 there's a news event. So we had some very strong sell-off here below the EMA, and yeah, we're looking right now what's going on. We are in the middle of the range here, so I'm drawing always my shorter term channels, and we are pushing higher here. This can be considered as a break and retest of the lows. Now we're pushing higher above the EMA. No setup here, just waiting what's happening around the overnight highs now. And I think we can draw a shorter term uptrend channel here, working higher. We're bouncing off the overnight highs here, but since we're in this uptrend, I don't like to take a short here. I would like to see a break, retest of the highs, and then take a short. And this is the market opening. Also, no long here. This is only a first entry, and this is a bit congestive, and going long into the overnight resistance is not a good idea. So what we are doing is waiting here. So now there is some congestion coming up. I'm marking this always to not get fooled into any trades. We like to stay out of congestion because the bars look almost perfect, but they fool you in and turn on and reverse on you. So that's always a very high risky setup if you enter in congestion. And we have a first break and retest of the highs. We're pushing strongly higher here and breaking the overnight highs. We're breaking through this range resistance here. Always drawing the shorter term trend channels here, representing here by a single line. Now we are testing the breakout area. This is usually when prices breaking out of ranges that breakouts are failing, or at least prices are testing the breakout area. And you can see here from the overnight highs, prices were coming to this level, rejecting, breaking it now, and testing the breakout. So if we stay above this line here, which could now turn from resistance into support, then there's a potential that we see some uptrend here. On the other hand, if this level is weak and price is slicing through it back inside the range, then it was just a failed breakout. So we have to see and wait for prices to do next here. And you can see the EMA here is acting as support because prices coming back to the EMA and getting rejected and pushing higher instantly. So it looks that we are forming some bigger uptrend here. Maybe we can draw it from this level here. I take the low and go for the first touches. So something like this, for example, because you can see prices are respecting the resistance line of this channel here and also respecting the support line of this uptrend. So we are checking now. This is not to consider because it's an inside bar and it's far above the EMA. We would like to wait for a pullback to the EMA on a second entry long, for example. And right now you can see how strong bullish this is. Prices are really taking off here, pushing above the EMA. That's a very strong bullish sign. So our bias, our direction is to the upside. We're looking for longs, no short trades. And we are approaching this trend channel here now. And you can see there is some rejection coming up. Let me zoom in here so you can see it a bit better. Also, we're breaking this shorter term channel right now and coming back to the midline, testing the midline and seeing where prices are going. This is so strong bullish that we are not even pulling back to the EMA or to the support line of the channel. So right now, all we can do is waiting. You can see how this midline here is valid because prices are testing this level, taking higher, testing it again, and now reversing a bit. So I would like to see ideally a pullback to the key entry point here. And now I see some support coming up. You can see prices are testing the support level a couple of times already. This is only a first entry, so we still have to wait. Pushing lower, so maybe we can see a second entry. This would be a second entry, but the signal bar is very bad, so we are not entering here. And really it goes lower. We are breaking this channel right now. I'm drawing this shorter term channel because you can see how prices are fitting within. Breaking this channel, I'm extending this line here. I would not consider a short here, to be honest, because this is so strong bullish that we really don't want to short this. We would be counter trending. I know that some of you could argue that a shorter term channel here is in play and is not played out yet, but really when it's so bullish and prices are strongly pushing above the EMA, then we are not shorting this. And prices find support around the EMA here and taking higher. So maybe we get a higher low here, for example. Also, we see the first break of this uptrend. This is here the first break. So we would like to see a retest of the highs here at least. But also notice this channel here broke and prices made a new low here. So this shorter term channel here played out by now. And prices are about to retest the highs. So maybe we can put this support line even down here because you can see also there's some support coming and we're pushing strongly higher, making a new high, no setup, coming back to this support here. Drawing the shorter term channels always. I'm forgetting them, but they are very important because break and retest are working the same way in bigger structures as in smaller structures, so always draw them. And we're getting a first entry here and a potential second entry. If I extend this, you can see there is a potential second entry long right now, but I'm a bit worried because we had a break here and a retest of the highs already, and this strong bearish bar, it could be that we see a second leg down, similar to this first leg here, then the target would be around here. So I really don't want to take this. If you argue that there is a triple test, then I agree with you, but I would like to see this bar closing much shorter, like for example where my cursor is here right now and not up here below the EMA. So right now I'm just waiting and seeing what's going on. Prices are pushing above the EMA, forming some mini congestion here. Nothing to consider. We have to find out what prices are doing, if prices are pushing higher, because we had a break, a new high here already, and now we want to see if we are pushing higher and forming maybe a bigger uptrend structure, or if we are going sideways or even retracing a bit. And right now I have no idea what's going on, so when we have no idea, we're waiting and skipping any trades until the structure is clear. You can see some shorter term channel working higher, so I'm drawing them always. They help you to stay on the right side of a trade. We're having a strong push here above the EMA, testing the EMA, having another push higher, and now breaking this structure here for the first time. Potential first entry. And this is interesting because this is a second entry long, right, of the EMA, and we have the first break of the shorter term channel here. Also, notice if you draw this range like this, then you have a failed breakout here. And also if you take this candle and draw this shorter term move, you have a break and retest of the lows. So there is something that I like about this trade. It's a second entry long, and it's a potential failed break lower right of the EMA. And we have the first break of this channel here and no retest of the highs. So I really like this setup, and I will mark this now as a second entry long plus failed break lower. And if you got into the trade, you would be out already. We are testing the range resistance here and going higher. So right now it really looks like that the EMA is providing some hard support. So we have a hard EMA, and then we can draw or try to find a bigger structure. I'm trying to find this right now with drawing this channel here, the same as before. I'm going from the low and I'm going after the first touches of this channel. So that would be here and another touch here. And prices really go higher. We cannot bounce back or pull back to the EMA. Prices just take off and trending higher. This is very strong bullish. You can take almost every pullback to a key entry point here. So technically you could take a setup here if you found this channel and if you consider it as valid, of course. So after every pullback there's a potential long, but I like to play it safe, and I'm waiting for pullbacks to the key entry points and to the EMA. Most times they will align to each other. And yeah, let's see what's going on. Prices go higher and higher. We're not pulling back to the EMA, so we can skip a lot of price action here because there are no interest areas for me. Now finally we're pulling back here and we're forming new high, first entry. Pull back, second entry, but this is an inside bar. I know some of you like to trade inside bars. Me personally, I do not, but I will mark this trade anyway because it's a second entry long here. And look at this very strong bullish bar. It's a perfect bullish bar. A second entry long, first break of this uptrend here. I'm also drawing the shorter term channel line. You can see prices go lower here, breaking it, retesting the lows. So we have a second entry long here, right of the key entry point, which is the EMA, and the first break of the uptrend, similar to what we had here with this shorter term uptrend here. So I really like the setup, but personally, I'm not taking this because I don't trade inside bars. Prices go higher, you would be out of the trade, and prices are retesting the highs and really go higher here. If you consider taking a short, I think it's a bit too early. Many times you will see that prices will make two legs, so that could be two legs, but also that could be two legs. We never know this. And with this strong uptrend, do not take any shorts. Really try to stay on the long side. This one here, excuse me, as a higher low is above the EMA. We would like to see the bar closing right at the EMA, so we cannot take this setup here. And yeah, we have a break and retest of the highs right now. And we are getting a lower high here. That's further confirmation that the move higher, that the retest of the extreme could be done here. But this bar is so huge. What do we have here? We have like 14 ticks. If this bar closed a bit smaller, like shorter here to the cursor right now, then I would like to prefer taking short here and risking this. But with this high risk here, we could just come back to the EMA and take off again, making a second leg, what I mentioned before. So really don't take any shorts in this strong uptrend. I know this looks tempting, but it will go wrong more times than it will work. So we're skipping this. And prices are going below the EMA here. This is the first time really since this uptrend started. So there could be an indication that this uptrend that I had before played out. And let's see what's going on. This is the first EMA gap, and we're going straight after that higher again, pushing above the EMA. So right now we could get some range movement here. So I'm drawing a potential range, something like this maybe. Going back and forth. This is a lower high here, but a bit too close to the support, and also the support is not really confirmed yet. So I would like to wait until this support is got some further confirmation. Also, if you consider a long here, I think it's a bit too early, even though it's a second entry long here. But yeah, as I said before, I want to see that there's a clear range here in play. So I'm skipping this right now. And prices go higher again. We bounced off this support of the range and going higher, not touching the range resistance. Now we're touching it. Let's see what's happening. These are all inside bars, so I don't like to take this. This is a lower high here, but way too close to the support. So also we cannot take this. This unfortunately is a bit too far below the EMA, otherwise it could be a nice failure here, but yeah, it's very close to the support of this range. And the more I'm checking now and thinking about this, let's go back to this trade here. This is a second entry long, and it's a, yeah, you can see, you know, that's the problem. If you think that the range support is here, then we did not reach the support here. If you think that the support of the range is like here, then we had a failed breakout of the range here, and now a triple test, right, of the range support. So yeah, if you're very aggressive, maybe you consider this. I was not sure about the range at all. It could be like this and it could be like this. I mean, it was more looking like this here, I must say, like this. So it's really hard to say like where exactly the range low is. And if you draw it like this, then you have a triple test, you have a confirmation of the range support. So yeah, if you want, you can take this trade. I think this is aggressive, especially we have this shorter term channel working lower, potential break, retest of the lows, but yeah, hard decision really. And like I'm following, like when I'm not sure, then I'm skipping. But yeah, I know you guys and you like taking triple tests, something like this, right, off range support. So I want to mark it at least. But yeah, notice that this is an aggressive trade. Coming back here to the recent price action, this was too far below the EMA, cannot take, it's too close to the range lows here. And we're breaking the range, extending this channel maybe a bit. Break, new low. So this shorter term channel here played out. Going lower, pulling back here. Now we wait for the EMA reaction. This is very congestive here. Just waiting. Going lower. This is a very strong bearish candle here, showing some bearish momentum to the lower side. So maybe this is a bigger downtrend even, for example like this. So that would be the first break, and now we are retesting the lows. It looks that this channel here is valid, but yeah, we cannot take a short here on an 18 tick bar. That would be too much risk for the like compared to the potential reward. So really nothing to consider here. Making a new low, pretty much two legs, two new low here. First leg, second leg. Pushing again above the EMA. So right now it's going back and forth. Maybe it's worth to zoom out here a bit and look for some bigger structure. Have to zoom out a lot here because there's quite some price action already. Let me see. So if we take the whole day, maybe we can find some bigger structure here. Let me remove this because this is not a range day at all. Maybe like this, or maybe even like this. Hard to say. Take that low. So maybe something like this. Let me check. The midline looks pretty nice, I must say, because prices are getting some support around the midline of this bigger uptrend structure here. And according to that, we would have a first break of this uptrend structure. So we had this downtrend working lower, first break, 2 legs to a new low. If you are an aggressive trader, you can take this here, but I will not mark this because yeah, it's I would like to see a higher low, for example. So taking something like this blindly can be very profitable, but I like to see more confirmation because I really cannot tell if prices maybe even form a bigger downtrend, something like this, and then we would be counter trending. So yeah, I would like to see further confirmation always. So potential first break of this big uptrend here. So the bias is still to the long side and we're waiting what prices are doing. Coming back here below the EMA, getting rejected, coming higher. This really looks like a range right now, so nothing to consider here. Maybe we can even extend it a bit more like this, but the highs are not very clear right now, so the highs could be here, highs could be here. I will leave it at this level right now and see what prices are doing. No trades here in the middle of the range. We're just waiting. Going higher, pushing strongly higher. Let me extend this channel here because if this channel is valid and this is the first break, then we would like to see a retest of the highs, which is around this level here. And we're pushing strongly above the EMA. You can see from the candles before, they were like very tiny, very small, and then suddenly some buying power is coming in. The size of these candles here are increasing, so this is some bullish momentum, pushing higher, drawing the shorter term channel, going sideways one more time, coming back to the EMA. It's always interesting to see what's happening around the EMA. No setup here because this bar is too huge and this is a bad signal bar. So we're still looking for potential long trades, pushing higher, breaking out of this mini range here. Now maybe we get a new high here. First entry long, pull back. Second entry long, this is congestion, cannot take. I'm extending this range right now because you can see there is some support coming here. Could be also a much bigger range if you consider this old resistance here is now acting as support. Yeah, pushing above the EMA, having a shorter term channel working higher. This is some chop right now, so really nothing to consider. But we're moving higher and higher. You can see prices are pushing here, pushing higher, pushing higher. So we are making some new highs, not exactly at the level where the old highs were, but we are on the way to do it. So let's wait and see. Prices made a new high. First entry, pull back. Second entry long, very nice signal bar right off the EMA. I think I like this setup because yeah, we still want to see a retest of the highs. It's a second entry long. If you consider this shorter term channel working higher here, first break, no retest of the highs yet. So we have some space here to the last highs and also some space to the ultimative channel highs. So I'm marking this because I really like this setup here on a second entry long, right off the EMA. And okay, with this bar, I'm not sure if I would cancel the order, the stop order, because this bar looks very bearish, and the trade did not trigger yet, because it would trigger from the moment it's going one tick above this bar here. So on this bar, I'm not sure, because now it looks a bit congestive. We would be not into the trade yet. So hard decision if to keep it or not. I will keep it. Would be triggered and into the trade. There's enough space to the highs. We would be out of the trade. So yeah, this is something you have to decide. If you see a clear second entry long, and then you see this bar, if you take this order out because you say that it's too congestive here, or if you just stick to your plan and proceed with the order and let it play out. If you kept it, then it would be worth it, because we would be out of the trade now, and we're coming pretty close to the highs here of the channel. I'm marking this with this blue line here, pushing higher, and we made a new low here. Let me check this. This is the highest point right here. Yeah, and now on this moment, I think we will make a new high. We will push above here. So yeah, maybe there's even some spike and channel structure, something like this. You can see that prices are progressing here and forming potential channels. Always draw your channels, because the shorter term channels, like what I'm doing here, they keep you on the right side of a trade. And we made a new high here potentially now. So this huge uptrend that we draw earlier here had a break and a couple legs to a new high. Let me draw these legs here. According to a measured move, the target would be over here. So that still can be reached, I think. Yeah, so that's it for today's trading day. There are some very nice setups, only longs. I was speaking about this. Do not short this when it's so strong uptrend here. We had a couple of smaller uptrends working higher, but they played out all the same way as the smaller ones, with a break and retest of the highs. We had this uptrend here, break, retest of the highs, some range retracement to test the support channel line of this huge channel, and break, and now retest of the highs of this whole structure. So yeah, if you stick to the overall bias, which was an uptrend bias today, and you wait for longs right of the key entry point and the EMA, then I think you cannot do too much wrong here. Wait for a good signal bar, wait for second entry longs, and you're good to go. That's it for today. If you want to read more and want to learn more about how to read the chart, check out our homepage, toppicktrading.com. We have a huge online course for that, and check out the promotional video on YouTube for that. And yeah, I wish you a great holiday on Monday, and of course a great weekend, and speak to you next week.